And guests, The Ron Sedgy Show live originates from our Universal Radio studios. Celebrities from TV, music, movies, literature, politics, and show business, at one time or another, they all come to The Ron Sedgy Show. So why don't you?
Welcome to the Sports Lounge. Each and every week at this time, we look back at what's been going on in sports. We being yours truly, Michael Horn, and the star of our show is Sultan, the Sultan of safeties, 2 safeties in one game in the same quarter, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have forged through yet another attempt by NFL officials, and we'll get into this probably a little bit later on, but NFL officials, the Rules Committee, which is also very dangerous. Anytime you hear about NFL Rules Committee coming to your
Tough
neighborhood,
stuff, right?
This is not good. So they've taken another attempt at trying to define what a catch is, what a kickoff is, what timeout is.
And you'll work through all that this week with us, right?
It's just ridiculous, and we'll take a peek at what's going on there. And there's other stuff going on. I guess
got a lot to talk about.
All the teams are preparing for the NFL draft in a couple weeks.
Yeah, baseball season getting underway, spring training over, baseball season starting. What's going to be going on there? We've got plus a lot of interesting news, maybe some things happening at the stadiums that you weren't aware of. We'll get to that. A couple of items here to talk about, too. How was your week? We haven't chatted with you as for the week. You were hanging out with Mongoose, weren't you? Tom the Mongoose McEwen?
Tom the Mongoose McEwen, and I think you were there. I'm not sure about that.
I was there as well.
You were there.
Don't think I was there.
And we went through about 15 plates of chicken cacciatore.
We did.
Some salad, but the Mongoose and myself, we reconnoitered down at Angelo and Vinci's restaurant down in Fullerton, and had a great time down there talking about a lot of stuff. And
drag racing, we were talking
about drag racing and
a lot.
Hugh Hefner and.
Yeah, you and Mongoose and Hugh
else.
Hefner used to kind of hang out from time to time.
Well, Tom was a guest up there.
He was?
Yeah, he was a guest
so
up there.
I didn't say anything because I didn't want to embarrass, especially myself, but I noticed you got him invited up there, and then you and I have been friends for a long time, and you never had an invitation put out to have me come up there.
Well, by the time that you kind of showed yourself on the horizon, the whole energy
was different.
of Hefner's cabal was different.
All right, we're going to talk about that here on the show too. Follow Fred on his new website, freddryer.co. You can get his Highway 395 movie and more, freddryer.co. Now, let's talk a little bit here. So, so back when you and Mongoose were at the mansion, things were really happening. Is that right?
Of course.
So when I was up there, it was like more eased back and kind of easy going. Right? I was more.
Were you ever up there?
Oh, I've been up there a few times through industry functions,
but not through me.
But not with you, because you got you were actually hanging around doing stuff. You had the ins and outs of the place.
That was your.
I feel like I've lost out on
mistake.
Well, I was here. I didn't want to go and say, Fred, take me to the mansion. I didn't want to do that, but
yeah, it's a good thing you didn't.
I would have been disappointed.
Well, it wouldn't have been good. Yeah.
Really would have been.
Yeah. Hef didn't hear too well, so you have to get up next to him and say, "Hey, Hef, is it okay if I bring up Mike Horn?" What? Never mind.
So, okay, I gotcha. Good guy, though, man. Right up until the end, right?
Man, the best.
Salt of the earth kind of guy?
The very best. I don't know about the salt of the earth, but...
now you used to go there for a lot of holidays. Now, I understand you're hanging out with Bob Henry. So you've gone from one mover and shaker
Easter with Bob
to
Henry.
Another guy. And you apparently, and once again, I didn't get an invitation. You've been invited to Bob Henry's mansion, and I am not able to go. By the way, I understand Bob is serving kale salad there. He allows cigar smoking, and the TVs will be on all over the place. I wish I could go.
It's very smart because it makes for a great Easter.
I hope you have a good one. We'll be looking forward to your Easter report coming back next week on the show. Stay with us. A lot to come here on the Sports Lounge.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
It's either an episode of The Jeffersons or with that theme. Welcome back here to The Lounge. It's the Sports Lounge, each and every week coming to you at this time. Michael Horn, the one and only Fred Dreyer. So, all right, let's talk a little football to start off with. Apparently, the Rules Committee is meeting. Is that what happens here in the off season, Fred? What goes on?
What's with this music? Is it kind of
It's the Jeffersons.
Yeah, did we lose that? I never did like that show nor that music.
Well, it's,
and here it is
not
right
the
now.
Jeffersons. It's your theme.
Here.
It's the
not my. I do not want that
that's
theme.
the Dreyer theme.
I do not want it.
All right, so let's talk about some
I'll
new rules.
leave the room if I
Don't
have
leave
to.
the room. The NFL's new rules. What's going on now? What's happening with the owners?
Well, look, they're trying to define the idiocy of me throwing you the ball and you catching it. And you either it's so subjective. What's happened is what has become clearly defined as common sense and reason and self-evident.
Right.
They have made completely confusing when they slow down something where the guy says, "Okay, you can see the ball hits his hands, and then his hands fall down to the ground." And the ball, he's got his fingers under the ball between the ball and the ground.
Didn't touch
and
the
the
ground.
ball and the slow motion shows his hands hit the ground,
Right.
and the ball moves a little bit. That's an incomplete pass.
But they look at it and they show it over and over again, and then they got to
Yeah, that's because you can't believe how stupid the call is.
Yeah.
This is a catch. You know, when you catch a ball,
Right.
it moves around.
Right, it does.
They have complete control of
Exactly,
it. They don't
exactly.
understand what complete control is, and so they're now reinventing the wheel here with all these rules. It's completely ridiculous what the sport.
Here's what's going on. New rule: 15-yard penalty for lowering your head to initiate and make contact with helmet. It means that for the moment, it's a mass confusion, and and they say an unexpected, hurried, or partial rollout has left many unanswered questions about a rule that was intended to change the behavior of players at all levels of football. So they're saying it's now a foul when a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent. It'll cost you 15 yards.
Yeah, and it'll also cause a lot of aggravation because that lowering of your head is all a part of the arc of engaging the ball carrier and bringing him to the ground, which means the fundamentals and the techniques of the sport's life's blood, which is tackling. If you take tackling, you take everything out of football in relationship to tackling. You have a intramural sport. I keep saying this all the time. This is stupid. You know, you have to teach these people how to engage the ball carrier and tackle. And when they say you lower your head, you know, this is going to be a joke.
All right, here's another one. New rule: a revised standard for a catch. It means the requirement to survive the ground has been eliminated.
What does that mean, do you think?
Well,
What's
I don't know.
surviving the ground?
It says a change designed specifically to avoid future instances of counterintuitive rulings. That apparently there was debate about plays involving the Detroit Lions receiver Calvin Johnson in 2010.
10 years ago.
Yeah, Dallas's Des Bryant in 2014. The Steelers, Jesse James in 2017. Now now a receiver must control the ball, establish himself in bounds, and perform a football move,
How
such
about
as
that?
a third step or a lunge to make a legal catch.
How about
It's confusing
a
to read it.
football move? What does
What is
that
a football
mean?
move?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out, and you're going to see another 15-minute gap in the momentum of the presentation of pro football next year. This is going to be embarrassing and a disaster. It's like the government. It's like asking the government, would you officiate our game?
There you go. This is all coming to you from the competition committee and the chairman, Rich McKay, who has put this together with their last week in Orlando. Here's another new rule. Permission for command center to eject players. And this is what it means is the senior vice president of officiating, Al Riverton, can now order the ejection of a player who has been penalized for a non-football act, such as punching or fighting. And referees retain the authority to eject as well, but there's been a handful of occasions in which league officials would have preferred an ejection. So, but they had no option for overruling or assisting a referee in that decision. Now they will.
Yeah. So what this means is, ladies and gentlemen, Bronco gives a forearm flipper to a guy's helmet to a head, knocks him out, and the officiating game officials decide that that's a 15-yard penalty, and then all of a sudden they get a call on the radio, on the phone, headphones, where the people in New York watching all these games now say, no, that guy should be kicked out of the game, and then they contact the on-field officials at that site,
get him out,
and say, no, we want him kicked out, and then that guy has to say, time out. We've decided to kick him out. We didn't. The on-field officials didn't decide to kick him out. The officials in New York decided to kick him out. So now you've got two entities officiating your game. You want that?
You know, a lot of people don't know that you were in the broadcast booth as a color commentator for a year or two in football, and I think we want you back because you'll be able to explain these rules better than we can. Here's another new rule.
Is that right?
Yes, Fred Dreyer will get it. Rich McKay, his committee put this together. Here's the new rule. Permanent touchback at the 25-yard line for kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means is this rule is no longer in the experimental phase as it was in 2016 and 17. The goal is to make the kickoff safer by reducing returns. So the league had hoped that the returners would be incentivized to settle for a touchback given the field position rather than run it out of the end zone. So the return rate did drop a little bit to 40% over the past two seasons, but the touchback rate rose to 57.1%. So there's a fear of mass pooch kicks, and it didn't materialize, but the injury rates remain high, and so they don't want concussions, and so this rule is now in place.
I don't know where to begin on this.
I don't either.
A kickoff is the classic a moment of a professional or a college or any football game. Kick the ball off, tee it up, and get your guys running down the field and smack them and get the ball.
Yes.
Either they're going to run it back for a big gain,
the most exciting
or
part.
You get them for a loss, or you fumble and pick it up and take it in.
Now I don't even know what this means.
That's exactly correct. Yeah. No one else does. It's all about fear. It's all about trying to address the concussion aspects when it won't do any of that. And what you've done is you've once again, government football has come in and regulated kickoff. It's regulating kickoff. How about this? Let's all go to the moon. Wait a minute. Let's get our space program and dump trillions into our space program.
Yes.
Let's get all our guys and our gals and get them in the elevator and take them up to the very top, put them in their seats, and then you're stuck because what they've done is they've outlawed takeoff because it's too dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going over the new proposed rules here for the NFL. Fred Dreyer is just putting them together. We got this next one coming up when we come back here.
Oh, there's some doozies in there.
No pats at the end of regulation. That's the point after touchdown. No point after touchdowns at the end of regulation. So we'll get to that one for you as well, too. Don't forget you can follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. You can email him, FredDreyer@crntalk.com. LasVegas.com. Go to his new website, by the way, where you can download his great movie, Highway 395. That website is FredDryer, DRYER.co, FredDryer.co.
Hey Lorraine, do you realize that your mother, my mother-in-law, Chef Maria, has been serving Las Vegas since 1949?
Yes, I do, Dennis. That's when she first met Howard Hughes, who fell in love with her cooking.
And in 1955, she opened her first restaurant on Fremont Street.
Yes, dear. And another great customer was Liberace.
Wow. Then in 1962, while Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack were causing global excitement on the Las Vegas Strip, your family opened their second restaurant.
And in 1972, Elvis Presley began electrifying Las Vegas audiences and eating in our restaurant.
You know, Lorraine, this is quite a town. There's only one Las Vegas.
And there's only one Bootlegger Italian Bistro.
Folks, when you're in Las Vegas, come visit us. We'll make you feel like you're part of our family.
The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, conveniently located at 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard, South Strip. Visit our website at www.bootleggerlasvegas.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Fred Dryer with some breaking news. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Highway 395 is my latest movie and is now available for all of my friends and listeners to own. Highway 395 is a classic modern-day Western thriller. Action, romance, and the frontier spirit. It's all there in my new movie, Highway 395. Now, here's the best part. You can own this movie tonight by going to my brand new website, FredDryer.co. Head to my website now at FredDryer.co and check out the trailer. Then order the movie for a great night of entertainment. And while you're at FredDryer.co, check out the memorabilia and my career highlights. But don't forget to order my new action thriller movie, Highway 395. So head over to FredDryer.co. That's FredDryer.co.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
It's the Sports Lounge. Every week at this time, bringing you information, news from the world of sports. And this week here, yours truly, Michael Horn, along with Fred Dryer, going over these new football rules. These are put together here from the new committee, the competition committee. The chairman, Rich McKay, put some of these things in, and they talked about them this last week. And here's another one for you. No pats after at the end of regulation, no point after touchdowns. And what it means is the teams no longer are going to be required to kick a meaningless extra point or kneel down after a score on the final play of regulation. This came out during the divisional round last year in the playoffs after the Minnesota Vikings game-ending 61-yard touchdown play against the New Orleans Saints. The play put the Vikings ahead with no time remaining, setting off a wild celebration, but both teams had to reassemble for the point after a touchdown that will no longer be necessary.
How embarrassing that was. You saw that? You saw that.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Here we go. Tabled rule. Here's one that they've tabled now. This is hiring head coaches who are in the playoffs. It means NFL teams still can't formalize a head coaching hire until that coach's current team has played its final game. Now, they had proposed an amendment that would allow the coach to sign a contract with the hiring team, but not begin his new duties until after the current team season is over.
Oh, And I mean, can't the two teams and the coach, the impending coach, can't they decide what they want to do? Do they have to ask the league to come in and say, here's what you have to do now if you want to hire this guy? Make sure whatever you do, don't hire him, don't commit too soon because he could change his mind, like Josh McDaniel did. You know, he was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, and he accepted the job at Indianapolis, and then later on decided, you know, something, I don't think I want to go to Indianapolis. I think I want to stay here.
Yeah,
and it screwed up a lot of
go.
people. And here's what it did. It screwed up all the coaches that he went to and said, hey, look, I've taken a new job at Indianapolis. I want you to join my staff. And went, okay, great. So everybody made plans, and then this guy decides to change his mind.
Well, and that screws everybody up. You're right.
Of course.
Okay, here's another tabled rule. This is video on the sidelines, and what this means, this has been tabled now. They say incredibly in this year, the NFL will continue to ban the use of video by coaches and players during games. They will continue to use still photographs instead, either printed or viewed on their Microsoft Surface tablets. But many coaches are very adamant and opposed to the addition of the All-22 video to tablets. They believe the video would make it easier for ill-prepared or lesser-skilled teams and coaches to make in-game adjustments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they don't want that to happen.
Oh, my God. We just don't want anything like that to happen.
Here's a withdrawn rule. This is the 15-yard penalty for pass interference. This means pass interference will remain a spot foul. The New York Jets had proposed a rule to change it to 15 yards regardless of where it occurs on the field, but this idea has been proposed before, but it gathered more momentum in years past among those who supported the New York Giants co-owner John Mara. There were 303 such penalties last season. 129 were walked off more than 15 yards, but the Jets withdrew it before a vote, knowing it would not pass. So that was.
What does this mean?
It means it's not going to pass. They had this rule out there change, and they withdrew it.
But forgive me. It was that you couldn't march off a 15-yard pass interference
what it was
penalty.
is the pass interference would remain a spot foul. So what it was, the Jets had proposed a rule to change it to 15 yards regardless of where it occurs on the field. So they had proposed that idea before, but it had gathered more momentum this year than in other years past, but they still withdrew it. So it's still going to be the withdrawn rule of a 15-yard penalty for pass interference. They wanted to change it as a standard 15-yard penalty.
You know, it's interesting. You know, it's interesting to see what all of these owners. You know, this is a private business. This is a clubhouse, and it's interesting to see the gripes, how they work their way through the season. Each owner makes a little note up there in the press box, and he says, I'm going to get that rule. I'm going to go to the rules committee. I'm going to get J.K. McKay, and I'm going to make this guy change that rule because I don't like it, and that's not good for our team. And, you know, so you watch all of these owners who don't know anything about football. They don't know anything about football. If you were in the uranium business, you'd have to know something
about uranium.
Right.
Of course.
And if you were in the rocket business, you'd have to know something about rockets.
That's right.
These guys don't have to know anything about the sport. And none of them, if you go through the roster of all these owners, except for John Elway, maybe one or two other people, that's it. They don't even know what a football is. You could fool them by giving them the baseball and say it's a football, and they would accept it. But what you wind up getting is a bunch of crybabies saying, I demand this and I demand that, and you have to change these rules because I just don't like them. And it's the argumentation of these millionaire guys who don't know anything about their own business.
We'll continue straight ahead. It's the Sports Lounge. The one and only Fred Dreyer will be right back. Do you like burgers? Then experience the ultimate famous 50-50 burger at Slater's 50-50 in Pasadena, California. 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon. Stop by at 61 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena and visit Slater's 50-50. Experience our full bar with craft beer and more. Play in our cool new game room. View the best sports in our Slater's 50-50 TV lounge. Try our Slater's 50-50 Burgers by Design, too, and all of our incredible food, including our Sunday Bloody Mary brunch. Check out our VIP event space for private dining and ask about our chef-inspired catering company with a completely scratch kitchen-based service. It's all at Slater's 5050 under new management at 61 North Raymond in Pasadena. Call 626-765-9700. 626-765-9700. Call now, 626-765-9700.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Ready Player One opens this week. Now, I loved the book due to all the 80s pop culture references and the world that author Ernest Cline created. I trust director Steven Spielberg, and I'm hoping he can bring all those elements to the big screen. No doubt it looks fantastic, and they had over 2 hours and 20 minutes to jam-pack that all in there. So hopefully all that is there to engage and not distract from what is missing. For more reviews and interviews, visit mungleshow.com.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master plan destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.125%, APR 4.36%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. We've earned 12 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Back in the Sports Lounge. Here's truly Michael Horn along with the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend. So one more thought on these new NFL football rules, and this is the competition committee recommending cutting kickoffs if the injury rates don't drop. So they're saying injury rates on NFL kickoffs are so high that the league's competition committee is going to give a mandate. Make the play safer, or the committee will recommend its elimination in the near future. They had their owners' meetings this past week, and the league's medical department presented statistics showing that concussions are 5 times as likely to happen on kickoffs than on any other average play. According to the Green Bay Packers, the president, Mark Murphy, he's a member of the competition committee, by the way. He said the rate has remained steady even after a rule change made permanent at this meeting to bring touchbacks back to the 25-yard line that we've talked about. He says, we've reduced the number of returns, but we haven't really done anything to make the play safer. Now, you're saying, he says, by the way, that in the next few weeks they're going to be talking about this. You're saying if you're scared to play the game, you should
fold your tent.
Yeah,
just fold it. You're destroying the sport, and you're putting a ballerina's dress on the show dog.
I mean, the kickoff is like you say; it's part of the game. You get there in the kickoff, and you're ready to go.
It never used to be. It never used to be like it is now.
What has changed? What's
ownership has changed?
Yeah.
The attention to detail and coaching, the following through and the carrying through and bringing forward the rules and regulations and the coaching and the techniques necessarily to arm these players with the proper fundamentals and techniques.
Stop right there for 1 second. Repeat that, because this is the problem, I think, in society in general. Lack of education. You're saying lack of preparation and education of the players.
Yeah, you don't have anybody in this league for the last 30 years, anybody saying, hey, wait a minute, we've turned over ownership, gotten rid of commissioners, we got rid of coaches, got rid of players. We've turned everything over in the last 30 years, a couple of times anyway. And so what do we have? We have a league that's more dangerous, more incompetent, more complicated, more rules. What happens when you have more rules? You have more confusion. A game is played by people who are big, strong, and fast, and they don't want to be interfered with. They want you, the people paying them, they want you to give them the tools to protect themselves as well as the people they're playing against. The spirit of this league has gone down. The brotherhood of the connective tissue of people understanding they're playing a sport together and they're celebrating this gift that they've been given and celebrating the sport. You've got 32 people who own these teams who are doing a tremendous disservice to the sport, and they don't know what they're doing. You've got to get them away, and I don't know if you can do it or not.
Yeah, it seems like it's going the opposite way. It's the same way with all these protests that go around where people say they want to change the Constitution for this, that it's an outmoded document or whatever. My feeling is, if you go really to the basics, it's lack of education. I don't think they teach history in schools anymore. I don't think kids nowadays know about what the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence is all about. I really don't believe that gets taught.
Right.
And you're telling me in football, you've said for years on this show that they don't teach the proper way to tackle. No. That's why there's a lot of injuries, and that's why these injuries are coming in.
Yeah, and you don't really. It's kind of interesting how to explain it, but you don't have a governing body that makes sure that with change, and that change is going to happen. You're going to get change, and that's the way it is, and it's oftentimes good. But in this case, it's really not good for them not to bring forward what everybody knows to be true. Let's bring our Constitution forward. Let's educate our children of this generation. Let's educate our children the last 30 years so we don't have any confusion at all about what we're doing here and what this means. So when I get older and have kids and grandkids and I die, I know that I'm leaving a better country because we have a attention to detail. And the same thing is with any sport. It's you either have the will to maintain the values of the sport. If I'm a coach, I spend an awful lot of time coaching fundamentals and techniques of my players. And if anybody on my team ducks their head, anybody misses tackles and can't play, he will be replaced. And that's what you have to be able to do as a coach, to tell the ownership to be able to turn all this stuff around. Is it realistic? Probably not. But you have to be able. This whole thing started a long time ago with Title IX. in college, where they decided we're going to take all this money and we're going to take it away from a lot of these other sports and put it into girls' sports, which is fine. It's an educational system. They can spend their money any way they want to, and it's fine. However, what you wind up getting into is you lose the integrity of the big sports like baseball, football, and basketball.
Your thoughts on this? Let us know. Email Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com, Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com, or follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer. This is and this is craziness that comes out of this thing, and every year they do this whole thing, and it just throws everything off. So I believe that we'll see how the season starts. I just hope it's not like when baseball made all these rule changes a few years back, and there was if you were the neighborhood play on second base, and if you didn't touch the base, the guy was still out. Man. How stupid is that? Touch the base, they're tagging with the ball. That's what baseball's all about.
Yeah. They look for ways to control the sport on every single play. They want to call a timeout. They want to have a special review. And they always say, we've got to get it right. We've got to make sure we get it right. It's worth this delay, this 15-minute delay to get this right, And I said, well, we used to play this game in 2 hours and 22 minutes. Why is it now 4 hours and 62 minutes?
You have a good argument on the sidelines for a while, once in a game, that's fine. Instead of having it stopped all the time with these the rule checks and the cameras and all that kind of stuff.
It's you can't watch it. I can't watch it.
Baseball season is here. Straight ahead, we're going to talk about this, getting everything underway. You're getting into the playoffs in the NBA, playoffs in the NHL. Football draft, baseball season starting. It's a sportsman's paradise. Stay with us straight ahead in the Sports Lounge. Michael Horn along with Fred Dreyer.
My neighbors always ask me, hey Pete, how do you keep your yard so nice?
Pete makes it simple with a Scott's Turf Builder feeding program. It's the best way to get the yard you want all year long, guaranteed. All it takes is 4 easy feedings. Just once in early spring, late spring, summer, and fall, providing nutrition and weed control to keep your lawn lush and green.
So, now you know my secret.
This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up a Scott's Turf Builder program today.
I'm a one-trick pony. Literally. I show up at kids' parties and act cute. That's pretty much it. So excuse me for being bitter. When Geico says not only could we save you money on car insurance, but we do more. Like give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or even via our award-winning mobile app. Well, ooh la la. Aren't they multi-talented? Hey, I said organic carrots.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Newsflash, the president has changed the tax laws, and now you may be able to pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, the tax doctor can help you pay the IRS as little as possible allowed by law. There are new tax laws for business owners, the self-employed, even W-2 workers. If you have a back tax problem or a few years of unfilled returns, new help to save you money is now here. Call right now to see how the new tax laws can help you. Plus, right now, we'll waive the consultation fee and give you a free tax savings report. Attention business owners, the self-employed, and W-2 workers. Make this free call to the tax doctor now and learn how to take advantage of the new tax laws that may help you pay the IRS less.
800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. 800-985-1610. That's 800-985-1610.
We're back in the Sports Lounge. Michael Horn, one and only Fred Dreyer. Baseball season, again, it kicks off with a bang, and it's underway now. But before it started, spring training came to a really repulsive end, apparently Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. A lot of teams have their freeway series or whatever, the Dodgers and the Angels play, but this last Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium, they had the big exhibition finale between the Angels and the Dodgers, and they had to cut the game short because there was a foul-smelling leak that spilled sewage onto the field in the 5th inning. The game was called after they had a 32-minute delay with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, giving the Dodgers a 4-3 victory over the Los Angeles Angels.
They won?
Apparently, yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, the water main leak left a brown mess pooling near the Dodgers dugout in foul territory.
Feces.
Can you imagine just going up to get your Farmer John? Get hot dog from Farmer John. And you put that onion on there, and you put the mustard and the ketchup and, some of the relish on it, and you bite into it, and you go, what's that smell?
And then you see it bubbling up under the ground.
There was a brown mess pooling near the Dodgers dugout in foul territory.
Oh, boy.
The grounds crew tried to spread what they call a drying agent.
A drying agent.
They worked to clean it up, and quoting now, I'm not going to tell you what it really was. That's what Dodgers outfielder Andrew Toll said.
Well, everybody
he
knew
said,
it
that's
was.
messed up. It's nasty. That's the end of quote from Andrew Tolles. But there was an undeniable stench, according to the players.
What could it be?
And one of the guys, Andrew Toll, said, I thought it was Gatorade or something coming from the stands. I don't know. They said it was the sewer. I smelled it. It was nasty, man. For about 10 minutes, they waited on the field, and then both teams returned to their respective dugouts. The umpire crew, can you imagine being Chief Jerry Davis, who came out and announced a delay, and the officials tried to determine if it was a stadium or a city issue. They should get Mayor Garcetti out there. He thinks it's so wonderful.
Let him mop it up.
Let him. And Stan Kasten, the CEO of the Dodgers, said apparently there was a pipe backup on 2 different levels of the stadium. Somebody was there early eating. They backed up. They plugged the pipes up. And poor Stan Kasten had to deliver this statement.
Well, you know what they did? I'm going to tell you what they did.
Take it easy.
Well, wait.
We want to be back on again next week.
I will guarantee you, that's a baseball facility that has to accommodate a lot of people all at once.
Yep.
You know what they did?
What?
Here's what happened.
What happened?
Somebody put a towel.
They did not.
Wait a minute. Think about it. They took a towel or they took a diaper or they took other elements of personal hygiene and they dumped it in the toilet when everybody says, whatever you do not put tampons and everything else, diapers in the toilet.
They did it.
And they did it.
So Stan, trying to be classy here, the CEO of the Dodgers, says, we don't know exactly where the backup was or what caused it. It had something to do with a main pipe here as well as a main pipe outside the stadium. And they didn't know whether they were going to refund the fans, but he said the officials would discuss the situation, and the losing team had at least 5 chances to bat, so the final score statistics will count as the official game in spring training.
Oh,
Matt
thank
Kemp
God. That's
homered.
the only thing that matters.
Gave the Dodgers a 4-3 lead. He just wanted to get around the bases fast. Mike Scioscia, the great manager of the Angels, said, it's unfortunate. We're all winding down spring training. You want to finish strong. When you had a lake forming around the third base area that wasn't going to stop, it's just unfortunate. So, and the leak, they say, might have reached the coaches' offices, but Dave Roberts, the classy Dodgers manager, wouldn't confirm or deny that. He says, I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. We'll figure it out. So there you have it. That's the latest news.
Well, isn't that something?
Now in San Diego,
they got to put Tommy on this. They got to send
Lasordo.
They got to send Tommy outside to the parking lot and run down that leak. What the hell's going on out here? That leak? You kidding me?
Tommy would get that fixed up. He would. Now, there's a new host of the morning show in San Diego on KEGY San Diego. That's 97.3 FM, and they call the station The Machine. And the guy started this week, but before he started, the San Diego Padres, he kind of irked him a little bit because he put a tweet promoting his show. And here's what he did. He tweeted a picture of the Coronado Bridge. It's a mainstay in San Diego, but the Coronado Bridge has a history as a lot of suicides on the bridge. So he puts the picture of the Coronado Bridge, and then right next to it he texts "jump" to a new morning show, end of quote. And the Padres, whose games are on that station, KEGY, among many others, complained about the insensitive and completely unacceptable nature of the tweet. Are we getting a little too serious?
It's a joke.
So Klein removed the offending images, apologized for his error. Quoting him, he said, I'd like to sincerely apologize to San Diego and listeners of 97.3 for a distasteful and insensitive social media post. The comment, this is the guy, Kevin Klein. He says, the comment was reprehensible and inexcusable. I failed to make good at a first impression, but I hope you'll give me another chance to provide entertainment.
I'm firing him.
And good day.
I'm
When I go on the air.
I'm going to tell him.
I hope not.
I'm going to tell him to
Just
meet
got the
me
10.
on the bridge, and over he goes.
No, you're not doing that.
See, here's the deal.
Yeah.
He doesn't get fired of what he did. He gets fired for his apology.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Now, apparently, that's not the only problem with the station, because the Padres may not like the programming philosophy of the station. According to their newspaper there in San Diego, the San Diego Union Tribune, they reported that the Padres executive chairman had issues with the programming on the team's flagship radio station. He says, quoting, "We're going to get through this first homestand," that's what Ron Fowler said, "and then sit down and evaluate it. We're going to assess our legal obligations. We just want a good radio partner that's not offensive to the community."
Oh, please. Yeah, I'm never listening to that station again anyway, so. That's the problem.
The season hasn't even started.
This is the problem we have. This is related. The idiocy is related to what we just talked about in the NFL rulemaking team.
It's the same, right?
It's the same thing.
You never had stories like this before baseball season started.
You better apologize. I don't want you coming down on that kickoff.
The legends of Ka'anapali Luau at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel will take your breath away with an abundant feast, spellbinding dances, and music from Lei Pono Productions. Be greeted with a lei and browse to see island crafts made by local artisans. As you hear the pu or conch shell blow, your luau experience will begin. The featured entree is a whole roasted pig and a bountiful menu of some of Hawaii's favorite food choices. Oh, you can't forget our famous made in-house taro poi. As your night comes to an end under the spell of the moon, be amazed by the famous fire walk. By the end of the night, you'll be full, and we hope you'll have made new friends and some forever memories while you continue to listen to music from Maui's local Hawaiian musicians every Monday night at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel. Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Call 667-0128 or visit legendsofka'anapali.com for your exciting island adventure.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Back in the Sports Loungers, truly Michael Horn with the Sultan of Safeties. 2 safeties in one game in the same quarter. The all-pro defensive end, the acting legend. We're talking about Hunter. Mr. Fred Dry. Everybody knows you from Hunter. They all talk about you. And Tim Tebow is going to start the season with the New York Mets Double-A affiliate in Binghamton, New York. The team announced Wednesday that he's entering his second season in the Mets organization, so hopefully there'll be some good things happening with Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Baumgartner, bad news for the Giants, huh?
Broke his left pinky knuckle.
Ugh.
Getting hit on a line drive in a preseason game. He will not be starting pitcher tomorrow at Dodger Stadium.
Now, there's a Major League Baseball team that's charging more for rival parking. The Oakland A's are trying a new strategy with opposing fans. Here's what they want to do. When the team takes on the crosstown rivals, the San Francisco Giants, according to a news release on MajorLeagueBaseball.com, parking at Oakland Coliseum will cost $50 for Giant fans, but only $30 for Athletic fans. However, any Giants fan who yells "Go A's" at the parking gates will be charged only $30 to enter the Oakland Coliseum. That's according to team president Dave Cavall. The two teams play in those exhibition games.
This is mindless information.
What do you think?
I know. Mindless information.
Would you shout that out? I mean, are you enough of a fan?
I'd shout a bunch of other stuff. See if I get it down to $5.
Now, this guy spent 23 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. This guy, Nervous Coleman, he's working back with the Chicago White Sox.
That's not his name.
Nevest, Nevest,
thank you.
Nevest Coleman.
We can call him Nervous. He was nervous.
Nevest.
He was nervous for 25 years.
He was a card on the old maid cards. Anyway, Coleman was 25 years old. He was a groundskeeper with the White Sox, was convicted of a rape murder in 1994 of a Chicago woman, sentenced to life in prison without parole. He was freed last year.
Wow.
Using DNA found on the victim was linked to a serial rapist. Friends and family contacted the White Sox after his release to help him get his old job back. The team was grateful that justice had been carried out for Nevest, and they said they were happy to welcome him back to the team as one of the groundskeepers. So,
man.
He told WGN that he watched the Sox games while he was in prison and would see his former colleagues scramble to protect the field during rain delays. So
and he just had to get back out there.
Two of his friends are still on grounds. That's
I'll
a
tell you
terrible
something.
thing to get falsely accused.
How about spending your entire life, 31 years, in jail for something you didn't do?
Unbelievable. 23 years in prison.
Oh, man.
I don't know how you just fluff that one off.
Yeah, they should give him, how long was he in jail?
23 years in prison.
They should give him $23 million.
They've got to give him some dollars, don't they? They have to give him restitution of this thing. Come on.
You have to.
They issued him a uniform and a bat. He put on the rain suit to pressure wash the sidewalk and got to work. But
how about that story where this woman's testimony put this guy in jail for 25 years, and then she comes out and says, I was just really mad at him, and he didn't do it. What do you think you're going to do on that?
You don't want to.
I'm getting out of jail, and I'm going to go pay her a visit. That's what I'm going to do.
Let me ask you a question. Basketball news.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big surgical procedure on the right hip of Isaiah Thomas, but the Lakers seem to have an interest in exploring a free agent deal with him. Now, wouldn't you wait until after the operation or whatever to see if the guy's going to be any good or not or anything? I mean, come on.
The doctors say that it's a cleanup issue. It's not a repair issue. It's a cleanup issue.
So it's going to be a scope on the hip? Is that what it's going to be?
Non-invasive, they said.
I'd still wait. Come on. Things can go wrong. You've been to the doctor's office. Come on.
Well, where's he going to go for 1 year?
I don't know. Let's find out.
And it's no team. He's coming off a hip surgery, so no team's going to give him the maximum deal that he wants. So he's going to have to settle for something. But that's where we are, and how many games they have left?
I don't know.
About 3 or 4. So.
Follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dryer, Facebook.com/TheRealFred Dryer, Fred Dryer at CRNTalk.com, and check out his website, FredDryer.co. That's the website, FredDryer.co. And get everything on our show, past shows and more. Just go to our website, TheFredDryerShow.com.
Which was most important because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.CRN Talk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channel.